I'm Jessica Rhinelander, and welcome to my stable. This is Champions Gate here in Wellington, Florida, and we are going to do a barn tour today. I am a dressage rider, originally from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, and I've lived in Ottawa for a short time, in Europe for a short time, and now actually Florida is my home base. I live here year-round. This is my first full year. I've come down to Florida perhaps for about 5 winter seasons, and this is my full year here. I battled through the hot summer heat and stayed this year, and I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm going to do the same thing this year. Well, I started riding, I guess, when I was about 5, and the first pony we bought for myself when I was 7 couldn't jump. She had an injury that stopped her from jumping, and that's kind of how I got into the whole dressage. That was all I could do, and I got hooked. I ended up kind of getting scouted by Equine Canada. They did like a coast-to-coast tour looking for up-and-coming talent when they had a junior young rider program running. And that's how I left Newfoundland, because, I mean, there's not many horses in Newfoundland. So it's hard to get off the island and do this as a career. So that's how I got started. And we bought my first big dressage horse. And then it just is history after that. I got hooked, and that's what I've been doing ever since. St. George I1 is the highest I've competed at. I mean, I have horses that have taught me a lot of the Grand Prix movements. I just haven't had the opportunity yet to show in the Grand Prix ring. And right now I have a young horse, so I'm bringing him along. His fingers crossed he's going to be my Grand Prix horse. Myself. I really enjoy training young horses. I love, creating a bond with them, and, they go the way I ride. You have nobody else's problems, but then you also have nobody else to blame but yourself if there is a problem, and I like that. So, unfortunately, the horses I have bought who are trained just didn't turn out to work to make it to that level after. Some of them got injuries, you buy them older and things like that. So, yeah, it was difficult. Consistency. I try to, every day be consistent in my riding, and you remember that, patience. Every day is a new day, and if you get as far as you can that day and you pick on one issue and then you establish a correction and then move on the next day. The horse's mental well-being is a big thing to me. All my horses go outside. We hack at least twice a week. And I work with a really good coach who keeps me, going in the right direction all the time. So having eyes on the ground is a very important part.
All right, so let's visit your barn.
Yes, they're coming in here.
So this is your barn. You're not renting?
No, this is my place, and I've been fortunate enough to have a place down here, and I'm running my business out of here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We can talk and walk.
All right. So we have a 6-stall barn here, and if you come in, it's a smaller barn. We have a feed room, which Red Barn delivers almost every 6 days because, of course, we don't have a lot of storage. It's only a 2-acre property. But for me to manage, it's a perfect size, so I can keep on top of everything. It's a lot of work.
So here you have
Good. Yes, this is my some boarders this season.
And this is a client as well?
I don't teach her, no, but she's just boarding here this season.
No, but she cleans her own.
Yes, yep, she does. It's a dry stall boarding, so they pay for the stall and they care for them themselves.
So for people
Yeah.
who think that in Wellington you have
No,
people don't do anything.
yeah, no, it's a lot of work, and myself as well. I this week have somebody helping me, which is great because it's a very busy international horse show this weekend. I have 2 horses competing, a client of mine and my horse. And my horse, my young horse, is going to go stay at the horse show, and he's never stayed at a horse show overnight. So we're anticipating maybe some difficulties, so just in case, I have a groom coming with me. And but normally, I do a lot of my work on my own, every day, 7 to 6 p.m., barn work, riding, teaching.
So it's not cocktails and Ferrari.
No, that would be nice. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So keep going down here. So over here we have actually a tack room. You want to kind of squish in there a little bit. I don't know if you can get much space. Yeah, so we have a washing machine and saddles, and we keep the fridge fully loaded with water bottles because it's really hot here. Need water. And then we have a grooming stall here on the right. You can see the horses maybe in the paddock through the window.
Is this fairly new? It's a new construction?
No, actually, we were very lucky. We purchased, I'm going to just turn around. We purchased this barn pretty much as is, And I don't know if it's, I mean, probably in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't build it ourselves. We purchased it as is. And we've just made some renovations and a lot of changes so it works for my horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is another.
This is a border, yes. Yeah.
And a jumper or dressage?
Hunter jumper. It's actually, I believe it's a 5-year-old coming up for its owner, hopefully to be a potential hunter jumper, or, you know, we'll see what happens. Last summer, it was more just establishing myself down here. I was finishing school. I actually have a Bachelor of Business Administration degree. I just finished in December. I will graduate April, or May is convocation. So it's been a long road trying to get that done. I did it by distance, so I taught it all to myself. And with the horses and balancing, you know, work and everything like that, it's been a long process. So this summer I focused on school, and now this summer coming up I'll focus on getting the business going year round. Mostly it was focusing on running it in the winter, school in the summer, and now this is my full-time job. Yeah, so these 3 stalls actually down here, the horses are outside, but these are, my horse lives in this stall.
Thanks, Ducky.
Well, yeah, his name is Dimanche, so French for Sunday. But I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Land Before Time with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a dinosaur in it, and his name's Ducky. And my horse kind of has that the dinosaur's personality. You know, a little bit curious and naive, and so it's a young horse. And the funny thing is, though, he's a little bit afraid of water, so it's not a very good duck.
Is he the one you're going to be competing with?
Yes, yes, yeah. And this is a border stall, and this is my para-equestrian student. This is Inspector Rebus's stall, and Inspector Rebus was Jody Schloss's 2012 London Paralympic mount.
And you're packing today?
Yes, we're going to the horse show. This is Megan Glenn. She's helping me out this week. She is also an international dressage rider from Canada. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I actually work with Jackie Brooks. Jackie Brooks in Newmarket, yep. So I've been her working student for the past 3 years, and then just helping Jess out.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
it's cozy. And
Yeah,
clean.
it's perfect for working. I mean, 6 horses every day, and the horses love it here. It's kind of like a little oasis, you know, away from the showgrounds and the hustle and bustle of all the people. You know, they kind of have come back here and relax after the shows.
And I see that there's jumpers, training.
Yeah, actually, the majority of the people on this bridle path, if you notice the gate in the corner, that actually accesses the bridle path, which will lead to all the horse shows. I think there's something like 54 miles of hacking trails. So, you know, for my horses, I love to hack them. We gallop up and down the trail, and a lot of cross training that way. And yeah, they're jumping across the way, which is fantastic for our horses to see. And sometimes they make the jumps and sometimes they don't. And my horses have to deal with, you know, jumps flying everywhere and horses galloping around, and, you know, they're well versed in all that. So it's good. Yeah, and I mean, even some of the cross country riders, I guess, bring their horses down in season, and we've gotten them to calm down a little bit. When the first year I moved here, they used to gallop, like gallop endurance training on this part of the bridle path because the footing's so good. And it's toned down a little bit now. We've told them, especially with a para-equestrian rider, that you have to slow down a little bit. And normally they'll say, like, you know, okay for gallop, and you can say, yeah, it's okay, or no, stop, because my horse is going to freak out. Yeah, we do actually. I have barn signs when my para-equestrian rider rides for safety, and it says, you know, para-equestrian rider, please walk, so that they walk past.
And how many
know.
lessons do you teach, like, usually on a day?
It depends. I go out to Jupiter, like I had mentioned, and I work at Desert Rose Ranch out there, just riding some of their lesson horses, really, teaching some of their adult amateur boarders that are seasonal or year-round. And I actually boarded out at Desert Rose one of the first years I was here. So it kind of worked out well, and it gives me, you know, to try to build my business to get access to more clients. But normally during season, regularly every day, I have Maureen, who came down from Canada, who works with me throughout the season, and then Jody Schloss, who's been my longtime client. Mm-hmm.
So who's this?
This is Ducky, or Dimanche. This is my horse. See if he'll come over and get away from the grass. Buddy. Hi. What's this?
And how old is he?
He just turned 7. And yeah, his KWPN is by Spielberg and Sanremo, and you're going to eat the camera. Good boy. Yeah, you know, turnout for my horses is really important. I try to get them out as much as possible. So, yeah, and so we're showing 3rd level this weekend just to get the season started. 3rd level test 3. He's schooling a lot of the St. George, but as he just turned 7 January 1st, we're kind of being patient. You know, I can probably go in and do 4th level by the end of the season, and then I'm going to wait and do St. George for the summer. Yeah, it is. I believe it. I mean, it's really hard, especially I have a lot of friends, you know, her showing internationally as well, and all in the St. George going to the Grand Prix ring. And yeah, it's especially with him because he's such a high achiever. You know, he can really do it if you wanted to, and then you have to go back and say, okay, the longevity of the horse is really important. And I said again, mental well-being, and that I think it's better that, you know, you wait. He goes in and gets really good experiences and does really well, and then we tackle that obstacle in the summer.
But is that like an exercise in patience?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I think it's important we're training it all at home. You know, I think it's important that, you know, you're pushing them past the level you're showing. I always like to show a level below what you're training at home. And, you know, so we're working on the lines of changes. We're working on schooling canter pirouettes and all those things. But we want to go on that ring and it be easy for them so they can really focus and deal with all the atmosphere when you bring a young horse along. Yeah, he has an unbelievable work ethic. Like, he wants to work every day. He's, you know, if he's not in the paddock at 8 o'clock, I better be riding him at 8 o'clock because he's finished his breakfast and is ready to work. He tries really hard. Like, I've never had a spot where he says, no, I can't do this. He's always trying to work for you. But he's also a little bit of a goof. You know what I mean? He can be a little bit, I wouldn't say spooky, but he pretends to be spooky, you know? And he likes to play around and, you know, he loves attention. He's a big sook. He's in the barn. He has a stall guard because he wants to see what's going on all the time, and people can sit next to them and he cuddles with them. And I actually had a little kid here the other day, and I think he was 5 years old, and he was feeding him like hay and loving him. So he has a very loving personality. I mean, I have had aloof horses, but I find working with them, they've all kind of come around. You know, I had my young rider horse that I bought originally would hide at the back of the stall and never come see you. And by the end, I had him for over 10 years. And by the end, he'd follow me around in the paddock, and he'd be really happy. So I think it's just, you know, to pay attention to them. And I do my own grooming and I do all that stuff so that I really have that bond between my horses. So, yeah.